Hello, welcome to the West Ham Way YouTube. Myself, Mark Carlow, and Riley Finch. This one's a little bit of a rant, Riley. I'm having a rant about the stadium.
Unlike
I
you, mate.
sit in the West Stand right by the away fans, okay? That's where my season ticket is. And I think you've probably seen it, and everyone has been talking about it. Firstly, this is the first argument, is this barrier, this hoarding they've put up on the lower tier, right by where I sit, which basically blocks the view from the away fans. There's no interaction anymore. All you can do basically is watch the pitch and see just slightly over, and you can see the tops of heads of people. Like it's really ridiculous. I'm stunned they've done it. I know that there's talk about them, people trying to campaign to get it removed, and I'm sure that will happen at some stage. But my argument is why? Why would they put this up? What moron decided this is a really good idea? The fans will be fine with this. For a stadium that's got a lot of criticism anyway. From the moment we've moved from it's had an abundance of criticism, not just from West Ham fans, but the football world as well. And it still does, let's be honest. It's not really a football stadium yet. But they don't help themselves, do they? They really don't.
No.
What have you seen it? First of all, have you seen this barrier?
Oh, mate, I've seen it. It's very like World War Z-esque, in it, as if like it's almost as if like every game, like all of the away fans and the home fans are always running into each other's ends. Like it's just not really needed. It kind of ruins like the intrinsic kind of. And look,
Yeah.
we don't want to see any fighting or any like
No, of course not.
Nothing like that. But the intrinsic rivalry in football between each other's fans is something that's just championed. Away fans giving it large to the home fans giving it large to the away fans.
It's part and
It's
parcel
football,
of
isn't it?
football. It's
It
part of
is,
the fabric of the game.
and when you see like managers fighting or players fighting, they're like, oh, we don't want to see this. Of course, you want to see this. This is what we want to see. You want to see a bit of passion, a bit of fire. This is what football's all about, and you want to see that with home fans and away fans as well. So
yeah, I agree.
it just seems a bit. And as a away fan as well, why would you want to basically sit in a box just watching the game? You want to kind of see the stadium. You want to kind of. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't understand it. Football, as you say, the fabric of the game is a part of rivalry. The fans being divided and chanting and that's part of the game. If you don't want to do that, if you don't like that sort of sport, go and watch bloody tennis and sit there quietly and eat your sandwich and watch it. That's a sport for that. Or go to the cricket where people sit and have a nice time and they get on. That's that kind of sports. The sports are out there to do that. Football is not one of those sports. People don't want to sit there and be quiet and just watch the match and clap and go home. That's not what football's about. I just don't understand it. And what frustrates me more is the fact that West Ham, these owners are desperately trying to get back on the fans' good books. So, we've had a terrible relationship over the years. It's been fraught, and let's be honest, it's probably never really going to be fully repaired. Well, it never will be. We know it won't be. But and it's things like this that you just think it's a big step backwards again. It's another slap in the face of the fans. It's another out of touch moment. Oh yeah, they won't have a problem with that. I mean, I'm stunned with it. I really am.
What does it solve, though, really? Like, I don't really understand. Like, maybe they had to save money on stewards. I don't know. Like, I don't really get what it actually solves. It just kind of, it's just another reason why we can be criticised for the stadium. It's another reason why it's not as footballing a stadium as a place like Upton Park. And we did a video a little bit about safe standing and things like that.
Yeah.
And that's a very positive thing. But before they did that, they asked the fans, would you be interested in safe standing? Why have they not said, would you be interested in a massive, big, great fucking wall in between you and the other fan? Like, if it's a crap idea, fair enough, but you can at least sort of just pose it to the fan. Would you feel
just say,
safer,
safer
in the home ends?
Absolutely. Like, and I don't really know, as you say, what's it solving? So are they? There's all right. I've been there when we played in the Europa League, and I think it was against a team from Hungary. I can't remember top of my list who it was at the top of my head, but anyway, and there was a lot of crowd trouble then. It was quite intimidating. There was a lot of issues, but that was just a one-off. That was just because we had fans from Hungary, very passionate. I think they've been drinking all day in London. It was all a bit hairy, but again, I quite enjoyed it. Like, don't get me wrong, it was a bit intimidating. There were coins being thrown. I didn't like that aspect of it, but it was quite fun. Like, it was quite exciting, and it made feel like a proper European night. I don't really know what the big problem is. As you say, if every match of a fan storming over, having punch ups, you'd understand them going, look, we've got no alternative. We're going to have to put something here to stop you fighting. I'd get it, but that doesn't happen. So I'm really my head with it.
Also, another thing I don't really understand is obviously I'm going to flatter you a bit here, but that end is sort of where most of the sort of hardcore West Ham fans go. It's sort of like it's probably the loudest part of the stadium. It's where a lot. So it's not like a family orientated stadium. It's not where a lot of kids sort of sit. It's not where all the pensioners are sitting. So, if the home fans there want to give it large to the away fans, they're more than
Yeah,
entitled to do so. I don't,
yeah.
it's not like a family section or a kids section where they're all feeling unsafe in the stadium. Because obviously we don't want that either. We don't want, because it is a
No.
family sport. You don't want kids and
Oh no,
you
no,
know
absolutely.
and elderly people going into the stadium feeling unsafe. But in that sort of home end, it's proper West Ham fans. It's West Ham fans that are all singing
Yeah.
all day long behind the goal. So I just don't really understand why. I
I mean,
don't really understand why
Riley,
it's been done.
there's an argument here, mate, that it can even affect our results because at the end of the day, the fans are the 12th man. They make a difference, and that's for the away fans as well. We want to be able to shut the away fans up. We want to be able to be in their face and intimidate them a bit. We want to make it noise. It's part of the game. It helps the players on the pitch. To argue, you could even argue that and say to the club and say you're actually hampering results here. Like David Moyes could be saying, "Why have you done this? Like it's
Mm.
quieting the stadium down. We don't want it to be quiet. We want it to be noisy. We want to intimidate the away fans and the away team. We want that to be the case." And I just don't get it. I just don't understand. Like you say, why don't they consult the fans of these things if they're going to make these sort of decisions? I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the cards on the table here. This stadium upgrade, this West Ham update, is shit. I mean, they've spent £15 million on nothing. It's
Was it on the
done no.
wall?
It's no improvements whatsoever. It's no. You can't even notice any difference. It's just looking at it and thinking they went and spent £15 million on upgrade. I mean, they might as well just put £15 million down a drain. I mean, I
Are
don't know
we
what they
like?
spent the money on.
Are we the first stadium to do something like that? Because I haven't seen a single stadium in England put up a wall
I
between the
know.
home and
I
away
know.
fans. It's just
Honestly.
what it's always us though, isn't it? Like it's just another reason for clubs to banter us. There's another
Oh, I
reason why the
know. I
stadium's
know.
shit. And maybe you go to the stadium like, oh man, I'm so pissed off at this wall being there.
Mm.
Maybe go grab a drink, and then you find out the drink's £7.30 for a beer.
Oh,
You
mate,
find out,
that was the next rant. You've
yeah.
you've teed me up lovely. I mean, all right, this is not the football club. This is the stadium owners. But this is just another reason why we just desperately need to own that stadium and get this done now because it needs to be sorted out. Because this LLDC who own the stadium haven't seemed to have a clue
I
what
mean,
they're doing.
maybe it was their choice to put the ball in. I mean, there's no saying whether it was their choice or whether GSB sanctioned it or not.
What are you talking about the prices?
No, I'm talking about the wall as well. I mean, I
Oh
don't know.
right, yeah.
Like, it could be their decision as well as obviously the
Absolutely,
stadium
absolutely.
increase.
But I mean, obviously, you'd imagine West Ham, because being the sole tenant, would be getting a big say in it. I just get the
Yeah.
impression it's a typical. It's got Karen Brady written all over it. That wall, it really has. It stinks of Karen Brady. It's a typical out of touch, just nonsense idea. They probably had to pay a fine when we had that issues in the Europa League last season, and they probably paid whatever it was, a 50 grand fine. And they probably looked at the books of the season. Went, what can we do to avoid that next season? Oh, I know. Let's put a fucking great big wall up. That'll do. No one will give a shit. It's pathetic, but. And the prices, I mean, all right, that's not. I can't criticise the club for that, and I'm actually quite pleased with the way they've handled it. West Ham, they've vocally, they've come out publicly and said we're going to sue the owners if they don't sort this out because
But
it's a
mate, surely
disgrace.
that had to have been run by someone. Someone from that club had to have looked at a piece of paper and said, "Yeah, that's fine."
Absolutely,
There's no
absolutely,
way they weren't notified. There's no way the stadium were going to increase the
yeah,
prices by about what, like £2.30 or something like that
mate,
more.
it's disgusting.
There's no way that didn't reach a single person in that boardroom. So if they can sit there and say, "Oh, we're going to sue" and all this other, but there's no way not a single person in that boardroom didn't get a piece of paper in their desk saying, "Oh, by the way, we're going to," or an
Yeah,
email or something that, and if they did, then that's just completely ridiculous. But there's no way in professional business that they would just increase their prices and not tell them. So they
and
definitely knew coming into this season.
and,
There's
and,
no
and,
way they
and,
didn't.
and another, yeah, you're right. I agree. There is some, and I'd like to think that maybe we done much saying it, but definitely they would have been notified. There's no way you wouldn't have known. Also, as well, which I think has just gone under the radar, which no one's aware of. I'm going to the game today, so I'm hoping that I'll see an improvement on this. But because last time out, basically, what I've been quite impressed with the last year or so at London Stadium is that they've allowed these kiosks to be put in. So people are selling like this sort of like you get like a Heineken bar and you get whatever. You get these sort of like different beer bars and like local ales and stuff like that. And they do it outside the ground. They have music playing. It's kind of like got a good feel to it. And even so much so that I've even decided sometimes just to go there and have a couple of beers before the game there because I've actually quite enjoyed the atmosphere when the weather's nice, to stand outside. And they're taking them away. Started the season, I went there, none of them, they've all gone. And I'm just like, where's all the stuff gone? And when I asked someone, they went, oh, yeah, no, they've got rid of them. Like, oh, the thing that got the fans here and we enjoyed it. It's almost like they're trying to ruin the experience for fans. I just don't understand it. Who are behind these decisions? I mean, I just don't get it, mate. I can't, for the life of me, work out who these prats are that are sitting in this boardroom going, yeah, that's a big good idea. They will do this. It's almost like they're sitting around going, how can we ruin the experience for West Ham fans? How can we make it worse for them? Not the other way around. I can't work it out. I'm stunned of it. The quicker we can get that stadium in our hands and own it, the better. Because I'm sick of these LLDC. They just seem like a terrible business. They don't really know what they're doing. And they're proving it time and time again for me. They really are. And it feels like when we moved in, they didn't even like the idea of having claret around the pitch. Why?
Nah.
What was the problem with that? And we had to argue that for months on end. But why did they have a problem with it? Like, what difference does it make to their life at all?
I feel like for them, they do feel like they're losing the battle now, and they just kind of want to maybe squeeze as much money as possible from the stadium while they still can.
Possibly,
because the stadium's losing so much money. It's not a profitable sort of situation for them at all.
No.
And obviously we're still calm. We're still paying the lease. But I feel like they're just trying to squeeze as much money out of the club as they possibly can. But then again, I think the owners are probably doing the same to an extent. So it's a very difficult.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. It's really a shame that these things aren't run by West Ham fans. That's the sad part. Because I'll tell you what, if you could have West Ham fans involved in all the decisions around that stadium, it would be so much better, so much quick. It'd be better, noticeably better quickly. But it's the fact that we're not involved, and they try and bullshit everybody by saying, "Oh yeah, no, we consult fan groups." They don't consult fan groups, and if they do, they don't fucking listen, do they? They don't know. No. There's no way someone would have said, "Yeah, put a Great Wave wall up there," and yeah, get rid of those bars. You don't need them, and you don't. There's no way. Everyone would have went, "No." Like, we want to make it feel like a really good experience going to the ground, and unfortunately, at the moment, again, it's a big step backwards for me. And
well, listen, mate. At least we get big sheets of paper that we can hold up before the game. You know,
great.
And they let us keep the free elastic bands as well. So you got to be thinking about the positives.
Swings and roundabouts, mate. Swings and roundabouts,
mate.
Yeah, exactly. I should stop moaning and enjoy my elastic band. What am I?
Well, hopefully we'll see some changes up there. Obviously, I think me and you are both travelling up to the game today.
Yeah,
at the London Stadium. So hopefully,
maybe I'll be there, mate. That'd be good. Fingers crossed,
the Heineken bar, maybe some new food as well.
I'll have some popcorn. I've got to have a bit of popcorn with your football.
Clearly, that's just intrinsic to sort of a football heritage. That one.
Yeah, just keep the noise down, though. Keep the noise down. You know what I mean, it's a football match. I like to just watch it in peace. Thank you.
That's all right. You won't be able to hear the away fans.
No, I don't want to see them.
If they're there, I'm not actually sure if they are there or not. Like, for all I know, they could just be hidden behind the wall. There's nobody there. But
honestly, thanks for watching, everyone. Cheers.